Hi, everybody. Thanks, I appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, it's time for the first night of the 38th Summer Fishtrap Gathering of Writers. We're super happy to have you. I'm glad you all arrived to Wallowa Lake safely from your homes, got settled in to where you're going to be staying for the week, met your cohort of classmates in your workshop and your instructor, maybe had time to take a look at the lake, maybe a little walk. You'll have time all week long to do that. My name is Mike Midlow. I'm the program director at Fishtrap. And I also want to welcome everybody who's watching the live stream at fishtrap.org. We're happy to have you here too. Thanks for joining us. I want to acknowledge a couple of our program partners who really help make Summer Fishtrap happen. You may have already seen that our local bookstore, the Book Loft, is here in Wallowa Lake Lodge. Yeah. The Book Loft has attended Summer Fishtrap every year, going back to 1988. And so our little hometown bookstore has books from our faculty, from some of you participants, from some local folks. You're welcome every night after our featured readings. We'll have a book signing inside the lodge there, so you can buy one of the books and have the author sign it for you. That's always fun. We also partner with Eastern Oregon University's Masters in Fine Arts program in creative writing. You may have some of those people in your workshop with you. They're a great program partner with us. And if you're ever interested in getting your MFA in creative writing, consider EOU. Also, the Kinsman Foundation, who helps us put on this program, and of course, Wallowa Lake Lodge, which you learned a lot about this afternoon. And I also want to welcome all of you folks from the community who were curious and wanted to come and be a part of the Summer Fishtrap experience. There are a lot of you here from Joseph and Enterprise and Wallowa and further on. So it's always fun to have you folks here too and see what we're doing up at the lake. Some of our other sponsors include the Wallowa Lake Chamber of Commerce, Wild Carrot Herbals, Winding Waters Medical Clinic, and Pier 303, which is the local fish shop in Enterprise. Great folks. Speaking of the Book Loft, I want to go back. All sales from the Book Loft, Fishtrap, 20% of the sales will go to Fishtrap. So if you buy books from the Book Loft, Fishtrap gets a little bit of that. It really helps out. Okay, I'll talk about our exciting raffles and the upcoming programs and all the things coming up. But we always like to, each year's Summer Fishtrap hinges on a theme. For 38 years, we've not only talked about creative writing and creative expression, but really talk about things that are important to people. Our mission is to cultivate clear thinking and good writing in and about the West. So it's as much a creative writing and literature as it is a humanities organization, and sometimes science. It depends on what we have. So I want to invite Executive Director Shannon McNerney up here. She's been thinking a lot about our theme. You heard about brave spaces and safe spaces, and Shannon hopefully will set the tone maybe to inspire you for a week of discovery and creativity. All right, please welcome Shannon McNerney.
Hello. It's so nice to see so many friendly new faces and a few that I've known a really long time, a few that I've known a really, really long time. Hi, Mom. Just saying. So I think in a lot of ways, it really is my job to officially welcome you to the 38th Summer Fishtrap Gathering of Writers. So welcome. And as Mike said, I'm also happy to welcome all of you who are visiting to our Wallowa County home. I hope you enjoy this place for the next week, and I will talk a little bit more about that, but thank you for being here. So as Mike said, my job tonight is to explain the theme a little bit and also to help set the stage for what I know from experience will be an inspirational week of writing for you and for listening for all of us, hopefully. I'll also leave you, and I mean each of you, with a homework assignment. no grading, you're on the honor system. I don't want to grade your paper, so that's not happening. Whether you're joining us as a writer or a teacher or a listener and lover of good writing and storytelling, you each have a part to play in making this week filled with courageous writing, great conversations, and new friendships. But before I get to that, I'd like to acknowledge some folks that make this week possible. First off, I do this every year. They are the most fabulous human beings in the world. I have a staff that defies expectations. Do you know my youngest permanent staff member here is 56 years old? I outed you all, 55, I think. Sorry, Jennifer. What we're able to do together is pretty amazing. I think some of you know there's only 5 of us on staff. 4 of us are permanent, 2 of us are full-time. It's a remarkable group of people, but the one I want to highlight one in particular, and she's going to hate me. This is Janice Carper's 20th anniversary this year. Mike has been here. This is his 13th Summer Fishtrap. He's the best, so I want to acknowledge him. Jennifer Hobbs will tell all of us that she's been around Fishtrap since 1997 as a parent, as a participant, as a board member, and she's been on staff for 3 years, and we're lucky to have her, so welcome. Thank you, Jennifer. And Jessica Bogard, whom you've met inside, she's actually leaving us at the end of Summer Fishtrap, but she was worked for a year, left, came back, and then actually the lovely lady with the baby, Devin, was our admin last year, so we are lucky in our staff. So thank you. I also have a number of 9 Fishtrap board members. I think several of them are here tonight. If you're a board member, raise your hand really high. There's a couple of, Elizabeth and Kate, thank you. You'll meet most of them over the course of the week. The Fishtrap faculty, you guys are, hey, nice to see you. It's nice to, these folks, every time they walk in, you just feel good. And I know you guys are in for a treat with them, so I want to thank them. This year we have over 30 volunteers that are going to show up this week to help us make this work. And they do everything from haul things around and put things there and hold our hands and let us eat lunch and sell you t-shirts. So please thank them when you see them. I also want to thank the staff of Wallowa Lake Lodge. These guys work hard. They do things behind the scenes, so give them a hug, give them a pat on the back, slip them a buck, do what you can, but thank them for us this week. And most of all, personally for me, I want to thank my Wallowa County people. If you live in the county right now, will you raise your hand, turn around, let people see? Thank you. And I can also tell you, as you look around, most of those folks that raise their hand are writers. Wow. And that's no joke. And real, pretty decent, wonderful writers, too. And one of them is my mom. So, thanks for that. So let's talk about what we're going to do this week. Summer Fishtrap is, at its core, a place for generative writing. I spoke about this last year, but I think it bears repeating. It's what makes this week and Fishtrap unique. For those of you new to this place, or who may not be familiar with the type of writing work we do here, I'd like to give a little insight into what the heck generative writing is and what a generative writing workshop actually is and isn't. So a generative writing workshop is one where you generate writing. Seems pretty obvious. Got it? Easy. End of lecture. I cracked myself up. Okay, so it's much more than that. A generative writing workshop focuses on the actual act of writing over the final product. It's about connecting your creativity and writing something brand new. It's about the love of words, the power of sharing stories, the thrill that comes from making something out of nothing but your own miraculous brain cells, your roots, your soul, maybe a muse or two. Oh, and generative writing is available to anyone. Anyone. It's a democratic process. It doesn't care about what your 11th grade English teacher thought, or your degree, your CV, your publishing history, or your preferred genre. It's about you and your pen and your paper or your keyboard or even your phone. The craft of writing is the thing. The final product, that's up to you. It may come later or it may not come at all. There's no grade. There's no book deal on the line or agent to impress. Some of you have come here with previous work in progress or work in progress that you want to do something with. That's great. Do it. Write something new anyway. See what comes up for you. Feel it in your heart and in your body. We want you to write. to practice, to be writers, to be storytellers and connectors, to remind folks why words matter, to give yourself the gift of making art for art's sake. Small word of caution. Generative writing can sometimes strike deep wells or uncover long buried caves. It can bring up emotions and memories that catch you by surprise. It may even unearth a demon or a fairy or an ex-boyfriend. Take courage and know that it's okay, that you're okay. And if it gets to be too much, take a beat, take a walk, make a note, give yourself some space. Remember, too, that you're sharing this time with a lot of other folks who may be going through their own creative and emotional discoveries. It's okay to hit pause and go jump in the lake, to remind yourself that you're here to create. If you need more support, that's why I'm here. We've got you. Come see me. We've been doing this for a while. So, for 38 years, 38 summers, people who think the words we speak, ideas we share, and stories we tell in and about the West matter have gathered in this place to be inspired and to learn. It's a privilege not to be taken lightly to be able to do it here in the homeland and gathering place of the Nimiipuu, the Umatilla, the Cayuse, and the Walla Walla. For thousands of years, countless stories have sprung from the voices of the people who lived and loved and died on these lands. Your words are about to be added to that chorus. Honor that. My hope for you, all of you, writer or listener, is that you have the full is that you find new ways to challenge and express yourself, knowing that you have the full support of this community. We welcome you to this, your creative home for the week, and we hope that you take a little bit of it with you when you return to your actual home. Speaking of home, these themes. This one came to us last September over a Zoom meeting with Beth Piatote. Mike, Beth, and I tossed around over 40 or 400 words and phrases when Beth suggested homeland. It hit me hard. I felt it right here. I couldn't shake it. Mike and I brought it, so we felt so strongly about it, we brought it back to the staff, who saw 1,000 possibilities. Together, we shortened it to home. We contacted Beth. She said, let's do it, and a theme was born. All of our themes, oh no. It's not that long, I promise. Okay. It keeps jumping, okay. All of our themes are picked months in advance. Like so many of our past themes, courage, think about that, courage in 2020. Resilience in 2021, and steering the craft, part of the year of Ursula in 2019, selected just a few weeks before her death. We had no idea when we picked each of those themes how impactful that would become in the months ahead. Home was going to always be an expansive theme. It literally means something different for every single one of you here. By the way, I love using literally in front of a bunch of writers. It makes me happy. So I did my own internal biological non-AI search, also known as a writing prompt, and on home is, and came up with, you ready? Home is an anchor, an aspiration, a refuge, a place, a state of mind, a building, illusory, a place to run toward or away from, a right, a privilege, temporary, where I'm from, where my family is from, where I want to be right now, a person, a calling, a passion, wherever people are kind, a reflection of my inner state, a dream, a nightmare, a place to hide from the world and reconnect at the same time, childhood, a place I create, a place I cling to, something I can lose, something I carry inside me, where I feel most myself. Home is a place of connection, of community, a place where people see me for who I am, some place where I'm safe to fail and inspired to do better, where I heal, where I grow. Thanks to Fishtrap, I currently call this place Joseph home. Before moving here, I had 32 addresses, lived in 6 states, and attended 12 schools. No, I don't come from a military family, just a curious one. Now I have a house with a giant maple tree, a big yard, too many cats, just the right number of dogs, Most of all, I have family by all its definitions. It's my home. But it's impossible for me to talk about home without acknowledging that it's become dramatically more complicated in the last several months. Who has the right to live in a place and call it home? What makes a home safe? Is it fenceless or surrounded by barbed wire? Is it a diverse, inclusive, and equitable community, or one defined by its homogeneity and real estate values? Do its residents have a right to good food, health care, and education? Every person here has a recent or deep generational family connection to the question of who gets to call a place home. None of us are where our long ago ancestors thought we would be. The history of the colonization of this place, these rivers and lakes and mountains, has a lot to say to us about the consequences of thoughtlessness, greed, and cruelty. Roosevelt once said that people are entitled to freedom of speech and of worship, freedom from want and from fear. His ideals didn't apply to everyone then. Is it too idealistic that maybe they could apply to everyone someday? That's the end of my generative writing prompt. Now it's your turn. So, what is home to you? Our world needs you to think clearly and write about what you're seeing and feeling right now. It needs you to share your stories, your experiences, your hopes, your fears, and your aspirations. We need you to capture all your thoughts of home, and I mean all of them. The tragic, the terrifying, the heartbreaking, and maybe even more, the funny, the hopeful, and the triumphant. Your stories are needed to encourage, educate, and enlighten, and inspire people now, maybe more than ever before. And they will be an important record of what you've witnessed and what you know to be true for generations to come. No matter how you are inspired by this year's theme, I hope this generative process is what fuels your work this week. This is the reason for Summer Fishtrap every year. The brave space we create here together is about bringing your passion, your writing, your understanding, your inspiration into being. Your words matter. They can and they will change worlds. Fishtrap cultivates clear thinking and good writing in and about the West. Put another way, Fishtrap creates a space for you to bring clear thinking and good writing into existence. For you to be creative, connect, and build community. That applies to everyone here, not just the writers. Let go and let that generative energy free and see where it takes you. So now it's assignment time. In the next week, I challenge you to do the following. Do your best to put away the troubles of the world, or at least the news feeds of the world. For the next week, make this place a home for your writing. It's not selfish, it's necessary. Number 2, be outside. Wear sunscreen, especially if you look like me. Take in this place, breathe in the air, touch the ground, look at the sky, listen to the river, the birds, connect to this place. And I think you might find a deeper connection to your own voice, a voice that lives deep inside of you. Third, I've said this before and I'm going to keep saying it, be aware of powerful words. May I suggest you put should on a shelf for a week? And maybe replace it with one or more of these. Will, can, try, create, and yes or no. Next, I encourage you to connect with someone new. I'm more convinced than ever that connection is what's going to get us through all of these things. It's everything. Hug a tree, laugh with a ground school. Don't laugh at them, it's rude. Discover something lovely about someone who maybe doesn't remember a time without email, or learn from someone who knows it's kind to rewind. We all have much to learn from each other, and the benefits of learning together as a community are themselves manifold and far-reaching. And finally, I ask you to join me, the Fishtrap staff and faculty, in creating a brave space for all of us to do this good work together. We're here to write and share stories and poems, yes, but we're also here to take care of each other. So be brave. take risks, make mistakes, be kind to yourself and to others. Pay attention, listen, participate, speak up, learn, try something new. It's our privilege to serve you. You writers who constantly strive to do better work, you show your courage every time you put your pen to paper. You inspire us all with your willingness to be vulnerable and open to new ways of creating and sharing your inner world with the world. Know you are surrounded by people who come to be inspired by your words, read your work, and cheer you on. You are a part of this place now, and it will follow you home. So now it's time to go get some writing done. Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, everybody. We're trying to bump up the volume a little bit so it's a little easier to hear out there. Okay. As you saw inside the lodge, there's a bunch of cool merch. Fly the Fishtrap colors. You'll see Rich Wanschneider here about halfway back. What year are you wearing this year, this time? 2000. Rich is one of Fishtrap's founders, and you'll see Rich later on in the week. It's always great to have Rich and Judy and all the folks who've made Fishtrap possible for all these years. Also, Jennifer Hobbs has put together some kind of cool raffle items featuring nifty things from Wallowa County. There's like 3 or 4 baskets. It'll start tomorrow. Oh, no, you can buy raffle tickets now, right? Up at the desk inside. And you'll start being able to put them in jars tomorrow. There'll be more details. If you have questions about the raffle, go see Jennifer in that tent right there. Also, how many of you out there, I won't ask, some of you, Fishtrap has this program called the Fish Trapper Program. And that's just a sustaining kind of membership program where people give us, it could be as little as $5 a month, but it really helps us with just the bills that come in every month, like electricity and stuff like that. But with the Fish Trapper Program, I mean, you can give as much as you want every month. But what happens with the Fish Trapper Program is you really become part of the fabric of the community of Fish Trap with these sustaining gifts. We'll learn more about it this week. But if you are a Fish Trapper, become one this week. There's another like special raffle for a Summer Fishtrap, free Summer Fishtrap registration next summer. No.
Daily drawings, yes, daily drawings.
Daily.
Buy a ticket for the Summer Fishtrap.
Obviously, I haven't done my research. We'll learn more about this together as the week goes on. All right, next. So each evening, we try to feature the Summer Fishtrap faculty. You'll usually hear from 3 of the faculty. But because Beth Piatote is also giving our keynote address on Friday, well, we decided to put her, really kick off the week with Beth. And you are going to be super happy. If you haven't seen or heard or read Beth before, you're in for a treat. Beth Piatote is a writer, scholar, and indigenous language activist. She is the author of 2 books, Domestic Subjects, Gender Citizenship, and the Law in Native American Literature, and The Beadworkers, short stories. That's a great book. Plus many essays, short stories, and poems in journals and anthologies, including PMLA, American Quarterly, Kenyon Review, World Literature Today, Poetry in capital letters, and others. Her full-length play, Antigone, had its world premiere in Los Angeles and has been translated into Japanese. Has it been translated into Nez Perce?
Some of it's in Nez Perce.
Okay, good. We're in great shape. She is dedicated to the study of Nez Perce language and literature and supports indigenous language revitalization projects, including the Indigenous Poetics Lab that she created at UC Berkeley. Beth is an associate professor of English and comparative literature and the director of the Arts Research Center in UC Berkeley. She is Nez Perce enrolled at Colville. Give a super big welcome home to Beth.
Tats kalawat oi kaloma, tats esh pine. Good evening, everyone who came here to our Pi'amkanwas, our gathering place. And what else did I say? It's good that you came, and it really is coming home for me, not only because of my ancestral connection to this place and the language of this place, which is Nez Perce or Nimiputemt or Titoka Timtki. But also, Fishtrap has been such an important home for me to become a writer. And I came here, as a participant for many years, and then eventually was able to come back. And I thank Rich and Shannon and Mike and the whole team and everybody who sustains Fishtrap, including all of you. Thank you so much for coming. Nunwasi Lautiwa Mama Ka Himeyume. We are all friends and relatives here. And also my daughter is here, so very special to have Inimiats, my child. So I have just completed a book of poems that are using poetry and short poetic forms for the purpose of language revitalization. So using the arts for language revitalization. And so every poem in this collection deals with a word or a phrase, and some poems are written entirely in Nez Perce language. And so the book is called Distant Water, which is the English translation of the word for ocean. And the word for ocean is Eteyakus, and it means distant water. But I wrote most of this book in Berkeley, which is on the ocean. But our language comes from this land, so even when I'm standing beside the ocean, I still call it the distant water. So I'm going to open with the first, I'm not going to read the whole book. So starting out, I'm going to read 5 poems, and the first poem is the first poem in the collection, and it opens with water. And so this poem is called Tekelut, which means cold water bath. Upon coming home, greet first, not your mother or the mountain, greet first the river. Find a quiet bend, broad sandy beach, or perhaps the classic swimming hole, complete with an ancient rock for leaping. A rock as rounded and smooth as an elephant's head, you imagine. Your feet stutter, pebbles quail down the path, cottonwoods flutter and coo. You rest under the sun, listening. Fish and ghosts divide water and sky. Poch, poch, poch. And after some time, shrep, so cold, so cold. And you say, Pikon siklik toksa, river, I'm home. Siklik toksa inim himiume, I'm home, my relative. Kunko, always, go first to greet the river, Tekelut, as if you had never been cast away, as if ordinary, this sudden brightness of becoming. So take this as a little inspiration. I try to be a traditional person and do the things I'm told to do, but going to the river and jumping in, I am such a chicken. I usually make the person I'm with shove me in. And but I think Tekelut is such an important idea, and I love it. And so I was having a really hard time writing this poem. And I realized that I was circling around the poem in the same way that I avoid getting in the water. And so I was telling some writer friends about this, and one of my friends said, sometimes you just have to jump in. So this is what I'm telling you all. When you're like circling around, just jump in. Okay. The second poem is a poem in Nez Perce, and it is a poem that is a collaboration with someone I never even knew. But there was this intellectual named Charlie Mackay who lived around Pendleton, and he wrote entirely in Nez Perce language. And my cousin, Phil Kashkash, who's a Nez Perce artist and linguist and wonderful person, he did a lot of work on Charlie Mackay. And he found this beautiful found poem within the work. And so Phil and I decided we would, in terms of training ourselves in Nez Perce aesthetics, to apprentice ourselves to this little fragment and to write a poem that follows exactly the structure of his. So I'll read Charlie McKay's piece, sentence, and then I'll read you mine. And so this poem is called Sao Tsao, Ghost. Siket pa wit swako ka auch. Tsao tsao nim kia hipainosa. Kus pa kus kini kini kai. The night was nearly toward morning. The ghost is coming toward us, there from above and over the water. And this phrase, kus is water, kuspa, so the water, tus kinich, from above. So this phrase is actually almost stacked on top of each other. Kuspa, tus kinikai. So beautiful. So here's my trying to follow the shape of this poem. Kawako sekliwanet kicht. Hipet kulichna mektsem kech. Tsaunim hiyalat kiyoya. And now it was turning toward fall. They went out hunting toward the mountains. The ghost rose up and went after them. And this, so our language has many directionals in it. And this expression of hiyalat kriyo, this hiyalat kri, that is the verb that's also in Chief Joseph's name. Hinmato yalakrit is the thunder rising up and moving across. And it's such a joy to say his name in this place. Thank you. Okay, this next poem, so sometimes a lot of the poems I have are focused just on one word and learning one word, but often one word has multiple meanings. And so this poem is actually a contrapuntal poem, which means you can read it across, but you can also read it up and down. So it's two poems in one. This, a lot of my poems, because in our language we use many sound effects and also in our storytelling. So this poem is called soch. And soch means spoon, but it's also the sound of blood gushing out. And sochpoilu is another word that appears in this poem, and it means wooden spoon. So I'm going to read to you the poem across, and then I'll read it to you vertically. What is your soch, your spoon, shard of mountain sheep horn or dry knuckle of tree, a curve of silver your grandmother stowed in an apron pocket, a cradle used to stay calm, to stay? Your soch comes from earth, animal, plants, mineral. Ask yourself 20 questions. How many times did soch save you? Coyote always carried a spoon to join anyone's feast. Such things believe in generosity. Always carry a spoon, not a knife, to feast. The sound of soch is onomatopoetic, is the sound of blood gushing out after wounding. Soch, soch, soch. Knife beats spoon sometimes. The wife of Cannibal had a sochpoilu. Cannibal wanted to feast on wooden spoon. She took the spoon and the baby. She said, "Spoon, become a canoe. It will save us." A canoe carried them away. So, vertically. What is your soch? Sheep horn or silver your grandmother used? Your soch plants 20 questions. Did you join anyone's feast in generosity? To feast is the sound of wounding sometimes. A soch poilu, wooden spoon, she said. It will save us. Your spoon, dry knuckle of tree, stowed in apron pocket to stay calm, comes from earth, mineral. How soch coyote always carried. Such things always carry the sound of onomatopoetic blood gushing out, soch, soch, soch. The wife of cannibal, she took the spoon and, spoon, become a canoe. Shard of mountain, a curve of a cradle to stay animal. Ask yourself many times, save a spoon to believe, a spoon, not a knife. Soch is after knife beats spoon. Cannibal had wanted to feast on the baby. A canoe carried them away. Okay, poem 4, but I have to admit, I kind of cheated on the last one. But, okay, these last two poems are about the importance of words and holding words. And one of the things that we believe about our language is that language isn't just for humans. Our language isn't just the language of humans from this place, but it is the language of this place, of all the plants and trees and every living being. So this poem, Words at Dawnbreak, is about the way we hold our language with other living beings. And I want to acknowledge and thank Christopher Kondrick. Maybe some of you worked with him. He was instructor here. And he invited me to take part in a project called Creature Needs, in which the editors invited writers, humanities people, let me say, to read scientific articles and then write creative responses to them. And the one that I was assigned is about the bird chorus in the morning. And of course, there's a little bit of cynicism because I'm always like, science discovers what Native people knew the entire time. So there's a little bit of that in this. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, bird choruses. Words at dawnbreak. 1. According to scientists, noise pollution forces syntax change in birdsong. So imagine you've been hearing chickadee-dee-dee, and then one day, as dawn breaks, you hear a dee chick dee, and you awake to a change in the order of things. 2. The example above is flawed. While it demonstrates a linguistic principle of syntax change, it fails to account for the fact that a chickadee signals danger by adding more Ds to its dee-dee-dee song. And surely the birds would have noted a dee-dee-dee-dee-dee situation. 3. Noise and light colonization change the language of some animals, including humans. Our elders bear this data in their lungs. Sonic colonization disrupts the animal chorus, ungrammars the tongue, breaks language into pieces, disorders the dawn. Amid the colonial noise, still we chorus animally. Morning light of science breaks into sound. Outside, a crow is talking. Ah-ah, hitsa, ah-ah, hitsa, ah-ah. It sounds like breathing, the word for crow. When I say ah-ah, I am speaking my language and crows. Through the noise of each dawn, we hold safely each other's language in our mouths. Okay. Okay, this is my last poem, number 5. This poem is at one level. This poem is about coming home, and it's about it's about the condor coming back home. And again, I just want to reinforce the idea that even one word can help us return home when we've been displaced. This book is also about, or this poem, sorry, were you all scared of this book? This poem is also about teaching the distinction between two related words, kawa, then, which is sequential, and kawatit, which means at the same time. And the final word is the sequential emphatic. So, and then. So, with that background, kawa, then. Kawa, then. A letter arrived from the Department of Interior. The letter said, "It has come to our attention that your dictionary has a word for condor. This entry is an error. There are no condors in Idaho." Kawa. Then we said it is not a mistake. The condor, Kunis, lived here long before the ranchers came. Kawa. Then the ranchers split open cattle and filled them with poison to kill the wolves, Himin, and destroy the condors. Kawatit, at the same time, soldiers soaked the prairie with blood, and the grasses shuddered under the weight of falling buffalo, Kolk'ach. And Kawatit, at the same time, Indian people starved. Kawatit, at the same time, squatters fired their guns into trees and waited for eagles to tumble down, Sakantaich, tossing them in piles like firewood and setting them aflame. Kawatit, at the same time, soldiers lined up captive warriors and shot their horses, Sikkim, one by one, gun barrel nuzzled into ear or belly, and oh, the sound of shots, and oh, the sound of horses, Mamen, buckling to the ground. Kawatit, at the same time, miners captured grizzly bear, Hahats, and forced her to fight a bull to the death. They extracted her claws to wear around their necks, and oh, how they bragged that they had killed everyone. At the same time, we could not save them. At the same time, we did not forget their names. We breathed their names. We cried for them. Air and memory held, and kawo, and then, and now, Kunis circles back.
Okay, what a launch to the week, Shannon and Beth. Thank you very much, and thanks to all of you for being here. Remember, if you want to visit with Beth or buy one of her books, she'll be in the lodge and at the book loft, and is happy to sign those. And you can just hang out and grab another drink and visit for a while. We'll be here for a little bit. Tomorrow's featured readers in the evening are Karen Ovanen, Joe Wilkins, and Erica Berry, so you won't want to miss that. All right, until then, have a great workshop tomorrow. All of you folks watching the live stream, we really appreciate it. We'll see you again tomorrow, too. You can also watch the recordings on YouTube afterwards if you want to share it with friends and family. Okay, until then, travel safely into the night. We'll see you then.